Other news, why was a Preston to London megabus stopped by the police on the motorway this week?
Just the usual reasons.
Yeah.
This was the story where a passenger reported seeing some smoke coming out of some other passenger's bag, thought it was a bomb, turned out it was a fake cigarette that was producing water vapour. Now, let's face it, if you've been pulled over, loads of police have arrived, you've got guns in your face, you're being accused of being a terrorist. That's not going to help you give up smoking, is it?
They shut the M6, 17 police cars and riot vans, 13 fire engines, 4 ambulances and an army bomb disposal truck attended the incident. They walked the people off with their heads in their hands. It was like, you know, and made them sit in the middle of the road.
Those people on the megabus, that's not the first bad trip they've been on.
When they were sat on the side of the road, you could see some of them going, this is the most luxurious part of the journey so far.
I'm always really freaked out by megabus. It's not the weirdest thing in the world, the megabus. Nothing against the bus service itself, but when you drive, like you drive a lot of time on the motorway, going to gigs, like the back of the megabus when you're driving along, like for those of you who haven't had the pleasure, there's times you just get hypnotised by that weird. There are many things I've observed. Firstly, why does that man have such large breasts? Hours staring at that man's breasts going, that is insane. What kind of...
Where can you go for £1?
I thought you'd have to contact Megabus. There's an address there.
I have to put plus a 50p booking fee as if people are going to go, well, that's a rip-off.
I walked in here with this in my hand, expecting to be transported to a faraway land. Then I find you want more money off you? Screw you, megabus man. What a big yellow man with enormous bazongas looks disappointed behind the counter. I apologise. I know that when you're disappointed, you don't go, I am disappointed.
Well, megabus represents the top of the list of the decadence of the West, is it?
Yeah. We will bring the West to its knees. Middle-aged women from the North will no longer be able to go to matinees at the West End. Students shall not visit their girlfriends in faraway towns.
Do you think when they were dragged off the bus and they were all sort of sat around it, they were still close enough to the bus to be able to use the free Wi-Fi?
They get emailed the photographs of their own terror alert. Do you know what's really irritating about this? For the entire... In my ear, constantly, people are going, wear the hat, wear the hat, wear the hat, wear the hat. Because, yeah, they gave me a yellow hat because they think I look like the megabus guy.
That means that man looks like a penis sausage.
They should call it penissausage.com. Oh, something else is already called.
You're just bringing this up to try and make everybody forget that you look like a penis sausage. That's exactly what's going on here. You just look like a penis sausage in a yellow hat.
Oh, no! Lost ownership of the joke now.
Somebody's got another new Twitter avatar.
OK, Grant, at the end of that round, although I should get the points myself for the assault to my dignity. Ladies, at the end of that round, the points go to Chris Hugh Milton! The first subject is travel. Who wants to come in on that? Harry.
I do a lot of travel. I actually do a lot of flying. I had to fly over here because I live on an island. I flew with Iceland Air, and I used to work for Iceland Air as a flight attendant. It's actually quite common to only have, like, men serving the food and only women flying the planes. And this is the 21st century, after all. But a lot of the passengers are, like, elderly men from the 20th century. And it was so much fun to be on those flights with the trolley, because you get to see the elderly male passenger reaction to 2 men with food, which was usually like... Look, Gunnar, the captain himself is bringing coffee for... Hang on, who is flying the plane? And then a woman would do the announcement, politely, professionally, like, ding. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sigríður Einarsdóttir, I'm your captain today. We'll be flying to London Heathrow in approximately 3... And these old men would be like, it's a woman, it's a woman, it's a woman, it's a woman. It was like a musical number starting, it's a woman, it's a woman, it's a woman. How how could this happen? And they would, like, ask, like, excuse me, is it really a woman flying the plane? And it annoyed me so much that I always said, yes, and she's having her period. You have a problem with that, old man? And they would ask, like, is that allowed? Of course it's allowed. What's wrong with you? It's ridiculous. In fact, I trust a woman way better to fly a plane than a man. They seem to take it more seriously. I can understand everything they say during the announcement. I never understand the male pilots at Icelandair. They all sound the same. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Ladies and the first, but my experience a little bit of a delay because... Hope you enjoy the service. And when it's finally over, people are like, what? What did he say? Like, it must be awful if you're afraid of flying. But if you are afraid of flying, you should never fly with our other airline in Iceland, because it's called, WOW! That is not a very reassuring name for an airline. Wow, it's like they don't even know how they got up there in the first place. Wow! How did we do that? An airline called WOW, that's like having a bank that's called fuck! Put your money here!
Yeah. Speaking of school, what does Theresa May have planned for schools in England?
She's going to abolish the Defence Against the Dark Arts.
She wants to bring back grammar schools, doesn't she?
Wants to bring back the sorting hat.
Stop with the Harry Potter.
You just had a conversation about Pokemon.
Yeah, but I know a tiny bit about Pokemon. I know nothing. I would ha 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 to his joke. Then your one appeared and I went, no, too much.
What do you think the sorting hat is, Dara?
Oh, I suspect they put names into a hat and they pick things from.
Oh, how wrong it is.
There's nothing magical about a raffle.
Did you learn nothing in all your time as a house elf?
Is it a large plot of land you inherited?
I went to grammar school.
Did you?
I went to an all-girls grammar school, and I'm sort of conflicted because the lefty in me is pretty much against the grammar school system, but it kind of worked for me, you know. On one side, it was, you know, people weren't ashamed of academic achievement. It meant you could... but on the other side, you know, there was no cock, so...
It's very, very divisive. And generally, people who didn't go to grammar school say there should be less grammar schools, not more, and people who did go to grammar school say, no, there should be fewer grammar schools.
You know, I think those children should be together. When I was at school, it was nice, if you were struggling, it was nice to see, like, a thicker kid struggling more than you. Like, for your sort of self-esteem.
Yeah,
you sort of think, God, this is hard, but, you know, he's not even got his pen the right way around. You know,
Exactly.
Yeah, you get too much competition.
You're denying every child the benefit and right of having a stupid friend. Like, I wouldn't be where I am today if I didn't have John Ashmore, who once ate a bee because we told him it was honey-flavoured.
Listen, I entirely agree with just having a friend who's just there for you to bring...
Because in Ireland we had not so much with the different schools. We had streaming within schools, which is where you have the clever kids would go into this class and the stupid kids were thrown in a stream.
The stream ran into the forest, and so they had everything they needed.
And it appeased the goblins who lived in the forest and ate the stupid children.
Did you have the...
Apart from the few that escaped and joined boy bands.
I think whatever we think of it all, it's going to happen because Michael Gove has come out in support of it. Do we not agree with that?
Michael Gets Things Done Gove.
Michael Gets Things Done Gove is back, getting the campaign loads of publicity, totally discrediting the experts, pushing it through, winning the campaign, knifing all the opponents, and then knifing himself for good measure. Yes, please. Welcome to grammar school.
I was a teacher. When we had, like, top-achieving kids, I didn't bother, you know, like, if they finished their work, I don't, like, go or have something more different, just go continue and remain quiet, and I'll deal with the other pricks that can't do any of this. Do you know what I mean? If anything, your proximity to me is going to damage your grades, potentially.
Comedy's gain really was teaching's loss.
What is the latest thing that school children have to worry about?
Is it Romesh going back to teaching?
It's nits.
It's nits. Yeah. It's super nits.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why they've got too many nits. Is because they're all sharing the same hat to decide which house they're in.
The next topic is sport.
Do you know, I've heard a rumour that horse racing may not be completely honest. It's unbelievable, isn't it? But how do you stop the corruption? Well, one solution may be to call horses something like mafia-backed second favourite. Because if everyone did that, everyone would be confused, no one would know who to bet on, and the whole thing would be fair again. And often the first to show is blatantly bribe, followed by mafia-backed second favourite. They're just ahead of Dope to the Gills, Mysterious Limp, and just behind them, Out for a Canter, and I'll Fall at the Fifth. And as they come to the fifth, I'll Fall at the Fifth has fallen. I'll Fall at the Fifth has fallen at the fifth in a magnificent display of cheating. And they're coming into the final furlong. Mysterious Limp is slowing. Out for a Canter is clearly struggling, but coming through strongly is mafia-backed second favourite. And as they cross the line, mafia-backed second favourite has won it, which is remarkable, seeing as he has no head. That's been left in someone's bed for tomorrow morning.
Well done, you. And the topic is relationships. Who wants to come into that? Russell.
Britain, I have sexual advice for you. That's right. When I was 18, I used food in the bedroom. Now, don't ever do it. It didn't go well, right? I used Rolo yogurt, and rather than tell... Yeah, exactly, right? Rather than tell my then-girlfriend what I had planned, I pretty much waited for her like some hideous yogurt goblin, right? Now, I doubt there's anything more terrifying than coming home to find me naked, holding yogurt, going, yeah, right? And I panicked, and rather than putting a little bit on, I pretty much basted her, right? By the time I'd finished, she looked a bit like Morph. You're sat there. I created an angry meal. You don't know where to start licking. You don't want to lick randomly, then she looks like she's got an illness. So, I did foot up to knee. That took me an hour. And hours, I was just... She looked like an angry gingerbread lady who'd had her leg dipped in Tipp-Ex, right? It didn't end there. I was like, I can't help you. The door opened, one of my dogs ran in and started licking the other leg. Never use food in the bedroom.
Thank you very much, Russell Howard. So that leaves us with Stuart. Let's have a look at the last topic then. And the topic is family. Stuart.
Before I rock the microphone, I want to I want to dedicate my performance to my father, who was a roofer. So, Dad, if you're up there. I'll tell you about my family. I'm the youngest of three. My parents are both older, and I have mixed-race parents. My father prefers the 100 meters, and my mother's Pakistani. I was raised by my father. My mother left before I was born. And, you know... I like being raised by my father. He's schizophrenic, but he's good people. I remember one summer I was 5 and he was Mussolini. Went to the park that day. I love parks. Standing in the park today wondering, why does a Frisbee appear larger the closer it gets? And then it hit me. My uncle's a hypnotist who has never inappropriately touched me. I have to leave now. I'm a member of Overactors Anonymous, and we have an Overactors Anonymous meal that starts in...
OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things to hear on daytime TV.
Well, these four date from the early part of last century. Some wear and tear, a little bit of tarnishing there. But please welcome today's Loose Women!
Welcome to Channel 4 Daytime. Or as you said to your boss this morning, working from home.
Well, coming up next, two programmes you don't want to get confused. Escape to the Countryside and Bargain... Hang on.
The next programme is Pointless. It's the Jeremy Kyle Show.
Coming up, Teletubbies Uncut. Yes, you're going to get to see Tinky Winky's Winky and Dipsy's La La.
Next, Judge Judy. I have. She's shit.
Hello and welcome to Let's Decorate the Shit Out of This House. This week we're decorating the shit out of a 3-bed semi in Orpington. So let's do it! Let's decorate the shit out of this house!
Next up, another property programme, which is pretty offensive when we consider you're all unemployed.
Hello, welcome to This Morning. I'm Philip. I'm a man on television, so I can go grey and look older. This is Holly, one wrinkle, and she's finished.
So David wanted to retire by the sea, so we advised him to buy in Norwich, because by the time he's retired, the sea will have come to him.
Next on Flog It, the team meet their greatest challenge yet. A dead horse.
And now a trip round Dara O'Brien's head in Hair Hunters.
Next up, the Austrian version of Cash in the Attic. It's Family in the Basement.
Hello and welcome to Let's Cook the Shit Out of Some Dinner!
And now on BBC One, let's make an appointment with doctors. If we phone now, we may be able to see them next Thursday.
Welcome to A Place in the Sun, the show that's for people who aren't sure if they want to live in Britain or move abroad. First up, Abu Qatada.
Next up on ITV3, it's a cutting-edge American drama. I'm only joking, it's Taggart again.
Hello and welcome to I'm gonna sell these antiques if it fucking kills me!
Things you wouldn't hear on a property show.
So, it's a 2 up, 2 down. It's unusual, but those are the testicles I was born with.
Welcome to the show. We'll be looking at houses that have been designed by someone's nan. Yes, it's grand designs.
Of course, finding something in London on your budget was very, very difficult. So this property does come with a bit of a commute. Welcome to Stoke.
All property is theft!
Good night.
Bit mean, but we've put together a montage of first-time buyers being told about stamp duty for the first time.
I begged Gary for an extension. He went and got a conservatory. I actually meant a penis enlargement.
This week, Bert has bought a yurt. And that sentence alone makes this the most fun show we've ever done.
Hi, I'm Kirsty Allsop, and this week I'll be patronising more millennials. You can't have dreams and a second bedroom. Wake up.
Well, this used to be a railway station, but there haven't been any trains here for nearly 40 years. It's Haywards Heath on Southern Railway.
And Simon has converted this railway carriage into his very own office, just by yelling into his mobile phone like an arsehole.
This house was built on an ancient burial ground, which is why the episode's been hosted by me, the ghost of a hunchback Victorian boy trying to explain fixed-rate mortgages.
Now, this next property is about £50,000 over Philip and Susan's budget. Luckily, though, Philip's grandmother has just died.
Loads of notorious people live on these here branches. Piers Morgan, Katie Hopkins, Donald Trump. So, what? Escape to the country? No, this is escape to the...
So, if you want to brighten up your kitchen, turn the light on.
Susan turned her two-bedroom house into a 10-bedroom house by putting a bed in every room.
I'm Danny Dyer. Welcome to Let's Do This Gaff Up.
Well, there you go. Immediately, you can see how much roomier it looks without the old lady and the oxygen cylinders.
This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the Wheel of News, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. The winner is whoever I think is the funniest. OK, here we go. The first subject is... festivals. Who wants to come in on that? Kevin.
Festivals. Nice picture there. That's actually me on your left. So, I was at a Christian rock festival. I never really meant to be there. I was just passing through this Christian rock festival and there was a stall set up that said a free toastie for all of God's children. So I thought, sham on. I said, how's it going, mate? Can I have a toastie? And the guy said, are you a Christian? And I thought, well, if I'm not a Christian, am I not getting a toastie? That's not very Christian. And with this, the guy crumbled and stood back to reveal a chalkboard and he said, OK, you can have cheese or cheese and ham. And I thought, oh, just cheese, mate, because I'm a Jew.
OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is family. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
So, it wasn't easy growing up trying to be a little liberal kid in the most right-wing family in the whole of my town. My dad was the most right-wing person I knew, but always quick to point out, I'm not racist, but... That was the danger word, yeah? I'm not racist, but... Or the latest remix, which is even more innocuous and dangerous. All I want to do is have a sensible discussion about immigration, yeah? Isn't it obvious? All right, no one with that face wants a sensible discussion about anything. I just want to have a sensible little chat in the back of that transit van over there, yeah? Me and my brothers, the rest of your family, Mr. Woolham or Woolham along, whatever your bloody name is, mate, yeah? Get in the van. right? My dad even managed to be prejudiced about my first car decision. How do you even achieve that? By British or German. Do not bring Crappanese onto my driveway, boy. Not only that, but I chose a hybrid car. Part electric, part petrol, papa, right? Another question mark hanging over my sexuality. It's the noise of it when it drove off. Thanks for Sunday lunch. Bye, Daddy. Thank you.
Well done. Good mark. OK, that leaves us with Milton. Let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is jobs.
I used to work at a Christian rock festival selling toasties. The best day was when I sold this Jewish bloke some yellow ham. My dad was a dustman. I didn't like him coming to collect us from school, though. Not because I was ashamed he was a dustman, it's just you never knew which day he was going to come. The rest of my family were police marksmen. Apart from my grandfather, he was a bank robber. He died quite recently, surrounded by his family. My uncle, he's a police frogman. No, sorry, he's a French policeman. I used to work in a supermarket. It was my job to hand out samples of things for people to taste. But I was asked to leave after the little cups of bleach incident. After that, I worked in a pathology lab. But I was asked to leave after one of my reports said, cause of death, autopsy.
Now we play a round called Trumpty Dumpty Sat in the Wall. This game involves Angela and Hal. So if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round's a stand-up challenge. I launched the wheel of news, and wherever it chooses to stop, one of our performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. This first subject is growing old. Who wants to come in on that? Angela.
No, I recently turned 40, and I want to reassure anyone younger, turning 40 is really easy. My friend turned 40 recently. She made a bucket list, right? She said to me, you're going to make a bucket list. And I said, do you know what I hear when I hear bucket list? I hear admin. They're always so ambitious, aren't they? It's like, oh, I want to go to the Taj Mahal, I want to swim with dolphins. The only thing I could think of that I genuinely would want to put on my bucket list is that one day I'd like to put half a packet of biscuits back in a cupboard. But getting old, growing old in this country looks scary, and it's looking scarier and scarier. You know, by the time I get to old age, there won't be care homes anymore, will there? It'll just be an OAP rescue centre. So it'll be like Battersea Dog Zone. This idealistic young couple will come in, they'll get shown around. This is Maud, she likes knitting, gardening, casual racism. Why don't you take her home? That's what it'll be. So we have to worry about these things. We do, because we're all living longer, aren't we? There's so many 100-year-olds in this country now, the Queen's had to get a Moonpig account to keep up. This is my plan for old age. If I get there, right, if I get to my 80s, I am going to spend every single day doing Class A hardcore drugs. Why wouldn't you? Well, you don't have to get up in the morning, do you? Right? You'll never have trouble finding a vein. I'll tell you something, you might not be able to afford to heat your bungalow, but I bet you can afford to heat a teaspoon, then you won't give a shit how cold you are. No-brainer, isn't it?
Thank you very much, Angela. So that leaves us with Hal. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. Topic is nationality.
Ah, yes. Well, I'm English, obviously, which is rubbish, isn't it? No, it is. No one likes us. If you, I follow England at rugby, at football. Everywhere we go, we get booed. Everybody else boos us. My wife, Northern Irish, boos me in bed. Absolutely. Boo! You're rubbish! Get off! You English are crap! It's not all English people, it's just me. I was actually doing a gig in Scotland a couple of years ago in Glasgow, and I said to a roomful of Scottish people, is it true, whenever we play football, you support the opposition? And they all went, yeah, yeah, we do. I said, you know what? We do the same to you, we just never know when you're playing. But I happen to think that sort of anti-English thing, and with Brexit, means the UK is finished. Eventually, in my lifetime, the UK is going to break up. I think. I said I was a passionate Remainer when it came to Brexit, or Ramona, or my favourite one, a sneering member of the metropolitan middle-class liberal elite. I love being called that. I love being called elite. It makes me sound like we're like super troops, you know, that go around the area in a van, keeping it bourgeois. We all screech to a halt, we jump out, we take up our favourite yoga position immediately. That cafe's no longer serving decaf soya lattes! Destroy it! Say that word, quinoa. It's quinoa, you bastard!
Thank you very much. Well done, Howard Crittenden. Back side, points of both of you. Come on back. And the first subject is relationships. Ellie.
So I've got quite a close relationship with my sister, and she's got my little nephew, Henry, who is a prick. No, he is. Don't take his side. You haven't met him. Because before he came along, I was the youngest in the family. I was the baby of the family, which we all know is the socially acceptable way for saying favourite. A role I was born to play until my sister, Slaggy McSlaggerson, got herself knocked up by some dude she had barely been married to for 6 years. Suddenly it was all about her and the baby within. Now, initially, naively, I did actually get quite excited about the pregnancy, because I think especially from, like, a female point of view, you wouldn't be human if you didn't get excited about your sister putting on a lot of weight. Had a lot of fun with that. We did. I changed her ringtone to the sound of a large lorry reversing. Just sisterly banter, really. But the banter stopped when the baby came, because suddenly it was all about him. No one paid me any attention anymore. Like, I don't know if you've ever had, like, sort of a family dinner with a small child around. It's a nightmare. There's food being thrown, there's shit everywhere, there's tits hanging out. You name it, I tried it, still nothing. Thank you.
Okay, go there. Very good. The first subject is education. Who wants to go on that? Ramesh.
Well, as a vegan, I wanted to supplement my son's education, so I'm helping him to learn to read. That's one of the things that I'm doing, and helping your child to read is one of the most magical and rewarding things that you can do as a parent, on day one. After that, it's one of the most frustrating, annoying, I'd rather punch myself in the face repeatedly than ever do this again activity that you can ever do. And let me tell you why. They do not care about making sense. Right? They'll just read all the easy words. When they get to one they don't know, instead of trying, they'll just look at the picture and just throw something random into the sentence without any regard for what effect that has on what they're saying. And I'm supposed to not get angry. I'm supposed to not get angry when my son goes, Jack went strawberry? How could that be what it said? How could it be Jack went strawberry? What are you talking about? What would that even look like? How could that be what it said? Tell me. I tell you what, you think that's what it said, you go strawberry now. Go on. No, go strawberry. That's what you think it said. Stop crying, go strawberry. Go strawberry. Why don't you do it? Go kiwi then, I don't give a shit. You're not doing it, are you? I tell you why not, because it doesn't make any bloody sense. My wife thinks I'm overreacting.
Thank you very much, Robert. middle class people don't want to self-identify as middle class. They, you know, middle class want to be, you know, because it's more authentic. You know, where it's, you know, middle class is such a bland state of affairs.
It's not bland, is it? Have you tasted some of their food? What kind of flavours going on in there? Isn't it? It's not bland being middle class.
Have you mistaken middle class for Indian? The naan's incredible.
We call them nans. We was in Birmingham the other week doing a gig and you had cream on top of your goulash.
No, listen.
Hey.
Hang on, why are you eating goulash? Goulash is... it's meat in goulash.
I'm not that much of an idiot. It was
vegetable goulash.
Can I have a beef goulash, but hold the beef? Rob and I had an argument, a discussion about the fact that I thought it had combined so much with the goulash that it rendered the situation untenable. But Rob said, "You could have scooped that out, mate. I don't know what's wrong with you." It's not scooped. He's not vegan. He's eating cream over here. I can't believe it. I haven't even heard of it in Lewisham.
Oh, we're such great mates.
It's a natural banter, which is why we put 5 people in between the two of you. The first subject is education. Who wants to come in that? Ramesh.
I used to be a teacher, actually. I was a maths teacher. I wasn't a very good one. But as I found out, it doesn't actually matter. You can get away with it for quite a while. But the problem is, with Ofsted coming, you've got an Ofsted inspector in the back of your class. I've got to make sure I'm doing my job properly. Yeah? Got learning outcomes up on the board, Pythagoras and trigonometry flying all over the shop, knocking it out the park. Kid in the front row's got a question, I'm straight in there. Yes, Timothy? How can I help you? And then he'd go, why are you being weird? Right. So then I've got to convey to Timothy, without the inspector realising, that I am going to bloody end him. Right? Because of political correctness, all textbooks have got to be multicultural nowadays, which means that every single question in every single maths book has got to have a white kid and a black kid in it. Or a white kid and an Asian kid in it. Now, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't have wanted to hang out with a kid of another colour. If every time I met up with him, you wanted to do bloody maths. I don't know. The questions you get in these textbooks are amazing. You get questions like, Philip thinks that the answer is 8. Dilip thinks that the answer is 10. Which one is correct? And then a kid would put his hand up and he'd say, I think Dilip's correct. And I'd say, why? And he'd say, oh, because Asian kids are bods, aren't they? We had uniform at the school. I agree with uniform. The problem is they're very strict about it. We're the sixth form. Talking to sixth form lads about what they're wearing, absolutely not a problem. Got no issue with that. Talking to sixth form girls about what they're wearing, something I felt a lot less comfortable about. But what I actually found was, if I just looked at them for long enough, they soon covered themselves up. I've actually just started pretending I'm Costa Rican. I will switch to whatever I need to, you know. In the cricket, I'm very Sri Lankan at the moment. During the Ashes, I pretended I was Aborigine. Like, I don't care. I will go wherever the results take me. He's basically made it fun for the Tories, because they could say anything they want. He's unelectable, so you can do whatever the hell you want, do you know what I mean? Like, we're going to kill everyone. Yeah, but I'd rather that than vote Ed Miliband. There continues to be heavy shelling here. Ramesh Ranganathan at the peanut factory. Is it what the minimum prison sentence should be for anybody that takes their shirt off in the summer? I find it unacceptable. I remember, like, when it used to be hot days, my dad would open up the curtains first thing in the morning and say, the white people are going to get naked today.
The first subject is going out. Who wants to come in that? Ramesh.
I don't like going out. Don't like going out because I don't look as good as I used to, and I worry about it. I've put on weight, and I think, oh, I don't look all right. And then I think, hold on a minute, I'm married. I don't need to look good. I just need to look better than the prospect of single parenting. And I think I've got that in the tank, you know what I mean? I went out a while ago, and I was out with my friends, we're all in our 30s, we look like awful tribute acts of us in our 20s, and... There's guys there, they're in their 20s, looking ripped and amazing, and I'm thinking, are they going to make us feel bad? Are they going to make us feel awkward? Are they going to make us feel like we're stepping on their turf? And the truth is, they ignore us. Of course they do. Why would they care? See a pride of lions hunting gazelle, they're not going to give a shit when a three-legged hyena rocks up, are they? Comes to the end of the night, this absolutely gorgeous girl walks up to me, does not break eye contact for a second. I said, hello, this is happening. Can phone my wife, tell her I've still got it. The girl walks up to me, says to me, no word of a lie, taxi for Rachel. Just this morning, we confiscated a bag of cannabis, and now we're asking all students to come forward if they've got Pringles. Have you had an accident that wasn't your fault and has ruined your life? Next time, use Durex.
The topic is animals.
I'm into animal rights, actually. I recently watched this film, Blackfish, which is about this killer whale that ate two of the trainers at SeaWorld, killed two of the members of staff at SeaWorld. And it's an interesting film, but I do have some issues with it. You know, one of the things they say in the film is we call them orcas. Some people call them killer whales, but these are beautiful, beautiful orcas. We call them orcas. This one killed two people. Right? That's a killer whale, right? He lost the right to be called orca when he slaughtered two people, yeah? And people are surprised by what happened. People are surprised by what happened. They say, oh, my God, I can't believe what's happened at SeaWorld. I can't believe that one of the killer whales tried to eat one of the trainers. Listen, that's not a surprise. I'm a vegan, right? If you make me dance with a sausage on my nose for long enough, eventually I will try the bloody sausage, right? I don't think that's a surprise. And the film is presenting obvious stuff. I was talking to an intelligent person about Blackfish. He said to me, I can't believe what's going on at SeaWorld. It's disgusting. I can't believe they kidnapped them from the wild. How else did you think that they got them? Did you think there was some sort of recruitment drive? And the thing is, you know, is they want to set this whale free. They want to set Tilikum free because he killed two people. Because he killed two people, they want to set him free. I mean, that's the opposite of crime and punishment, isn't it? I mean, people say because he lives in such horrible conditions. Listen, people live in horrible conditions. We don't let them off for doing stuff. You don't say, oh, Derek here killed 6 people. We can't do anything about it because he lives in Hastings. I understand that because, like, if the cows farting is causing the problem, then surely eating them is the solution. I mean...
And the topic is parenting.
I'm a parent. You know, we had our first child, and our first child is such a lovely kid. You know, he always says please and thank you. He's such a wonderful, wonderful little boy. I said to my wife, do you know what? I think we might have mastered parenting. I think it's just about setting clear boundaries and being consistent. The second one, feral. Right. Like, I love him, but what a prick this kid is. Like, I love him, but what an unacceptable human being. Like, I love him, but I don't like him. You know, that's... Like, I'm going to have to say to him one day, you're a mistake. And not, like, in the way that the contraception went wrong. Like, the decision to have you was a mistake. Sometimes I want him to get hurt. There you go, I said it. Now, listen. I don't mean really hurt. I just mean a little bit. You know, because he doesn't listen, this kid. When I say to him, don't do that, dude, because if you do that, you're going to get hurt. And then he does it, and he doesn't get hurt. That pisses me off, right? Because that is life telling him that I'm full of shit. This kid's running with scissors with no consequences, do you know what I mean? do think it is a weird strategy, because what you're saying is we're going to make it OK for you to park by a broken meter. So, you know, a solution seems to be fix the meters. Do you know what I mean? Rather than make it OK to park next to broken ones. It's like saying, well, you know, all the trains are late and we know they never arrive, you know, when they're supposed to. So what we've decided to do to tackle the problem, we've decided to abandon the concept of time. So nobody's ever going to be late for anything. We plan to replace the glass ceiling for women with something much easier to clean. Nick Clegg finally thinks he's stepping up to the plate, like Cameron's on the phone. Listen, my phone reception is a nightmare. We've got an important situation. Nick, I need you to step up. I need you to do the right thing. Can you get in touch with Vodafone and get this sorted out? Russell Crowe stars as Bob Marley. The accent's so offensive you won't even care that he blacked up. As I report from my 6th day here in war-torn Syria, I think the lesson learned is that I should never have called my producer a wanker. A UKIP film presentation, 101 damn Asians. Newark is actually an anagram of Nigel Farage's nickname.
What? Cron? I love the way that they clapped at different times, depending on how quickly they got it.
There is an element of chase going on there.
Come on. Well, I'm really sad to be leaving you as your maths teacher. I've got no idea why I've been made redundant, because I've always felt that I've given 110%. I think, you know, actually we should be talking about immigration now, because it's a good thing that he's put it on the table, because, you know, a lot of Europeans are coming into the country and taking jobs that my parents worked so hard to steal in the 70s. It's actually a very exciting game they play, where they just sit there for hours and see which one tries to rehydrate themselves first. Because when, I mean, again, speaking as a vegan, but my problem with it is... Are you a vegan? Listen, get on board, all right? Jesus. You guys disgust me. Yes. You cheese and meat-eating pricks.
Anyway, please, every part of the show, preface every topic we do with, as a vegan.
My point is, Dara, if I may...
The pizza!
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what, pizza, nightmare, right?
Of course, you've missed the main ingredient.
I love pizza, ordered a pizza, right, with no cheese, right? No cheese.
Yeah.
What I didn't realise is not only does cheese add flavour, it also has an adhesive quality. What I got was a box of bread with some vegetables in the corner of the box. The public have spoken, and they said that I'm a knob.
We're not interested, we're not engaged. I think they should combine the election of the leader of the European Commission with the Eurovision Song Contest. So,
How is combining two things that we're not interested in going to make it more interesting? The issue that I have is that, you know, UKIP sort of attracting votes from sort of the elderly. You know, that this is sort of who are increasingly supporting them. And the thing is that you get worried because you think, well, I've sort of had more racist experiences from elderly people, and you can sort of understand how this comes about. But I actually think that elderly people should just be allowed to be racist, because, like, they've got enough shit going on in their lives, like, without having to re-educate themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've pissed myself, I've got 2 false hips, and now I can't say darky. Like, it's... I'm quite happy to make him feel comfortable, bump into an elderly person, just give him the old wobble head to make him feel all right.
The Large Hadron Collider in CERN in Switzerland starts on Wednesday.
Or to give it its proper name, the Black Hole Machine.
They've taken all necessary precautions.
No, they haven't.
They haven't taken the necessary precaution of not doing it, though, have they?
There's a 1 in 50 million chance that it could create a black hole which will end the universe. Now, I would argue that if there's any chance of that, like if my kid said to me, can I get a train set up in the loft? I would go, OK. If it, could I get a train set that might end the universe? I'd say, what about a bike?
So you'd prefer it if they got the protons and then cycled them round the tunnel on a bicycle?
The thing is, I'm sure they're going to find out some interesting things about protons, but I would add, I don't give a fuck.
I think if the...
I think they've taken all the necessary safety precautions,
It's
right?
going to, it might create a tiny black hole, right, which is the worst type of black hole, because we'll all get drawn slowly towards Switzerland. And every week this desk will be like 2 feet further over there. And then eventually we'll just look one week and Russell have been replaced by just the jaws of infinity.
Why was that directed at me, Frankie? The jaws of infinity. I thought we were going to see a cow and chocolate and we'd be in Switzerland, but all of a sudden my eyeballs are sucked out of my face. Just for sitting nearest to the audience.
What? You thought
Why
that...
am I the first to go?
You're near to Switzerland. We tilted it around during the show so that you'd be the one closest to Switzerland.
Well, this is bullshit now.
No one's going to die. It's basically...
He just told me I'm going to die on telly.
He looked at telly. My God, I hope you have the cameras rolling when it happens. That'll be incredible. Just him going, wah, and clinging on to the desk, right? While we hammer at his fingers. Go! Go proudly! No. Go, Russell! Go, Brett.
You'd be like that. There's more space on scenes we'd like to see.
It's not going to work, though, is it? Because what they're looking for is a thing called the Higgs boson.
Yes.
Is that right? Which
Yes,
is
it
a
is.
subatomic particle, which is, you know, lasts for a million trillionth of a second. It's incredibly small. Most of the scientists I've ever met would have trouble finding a clitoris. They're not going to find that.
Well, OK, they don't find the Higgs boson by just rooting around and checking on their desks. I'm sure there's a Higgs boson
Are you saying that's your method for finding the clitoris? Well, I'll root around, and if it's not there, I'll check the desk.
With that, we offer the points to Frankie, Hugh and Michael! Things you wouldn't hear in a nature show.
Well, that was a sticky moment. Last time I tickle a sperm whale.
It's been said that male cows don't defecate, but as you can see, that's bullshit.
The best way to tell the difference between an Indian and an African elephant is that one of them is an elephant.
Hello, I'm not an elephant.
Told you.
The baboon is one of the most sophisticated primates. Would you look at the arse on that?
And the reason why geese fly in a V formation is to act as chevrons for airplanes.
Coming up, a couple of rhinos banging and some monkeys finger blasting each other on extremely blue planets.
And what a magnificent scene. The monkey is lifting the lion cub towards the sun, and I'm being removed from the theatre for talking.
Dawn rises on the Serengeti. Dawn has no idea how she got there.
The gibbon is widely considered to be the most frequent masturbator in the entire animal kingdom. We'll see about that.
Hello, mates! I'm Daddy Dyer, and welcome to Britain's longest dogs.
The camel can walk across the sand because of its toes, or, as scientists call them, fanny outlines.
And here we have a tiger happily eating Frosties. Tonight's episode is dedicated to the memory of our cameraman, Charles Frosties.
And here we see two majestic birds of prey, or nuns, as they're also called.
Here we have a woodchuck, also known as a groundhog, prompting the question, how much ground could a groundhog hog if a groundhog could hog ground?
As the three lions circle the female, we ask, when will footballers learn that no means no?
The crab scuttles into view. I should have used the special shampoo again.
And today we'll be talking about one of the largest land mammals to ever walk the earth, your mum.
OK, here we go. Let's have the first topic, please. The first subject is parenting.
I'll take this. We have 2 children in our house. 2 boys. One is 4 months old and the other is 21 months old. Yeah. We didn't want there to be too big a gap, so my wife had them both by cesarean. To be honest with you, the 4-month-old, he's already more of a man than I've ever been, because he's already mastered the art of the casual vomit, something I could never do. When I'm sick, it's a biblical event, it's coming out my nose, I'm pulling muscles in my back, but he's so cool with it, he'll puke and then he'll look at you like you just did it, you know. What's this? That was you? Don't think so, doesn't sound like it. But it's amazing the pressure that can build up inside a small child. It's got the puke flies out and the piss flies out and the shit. Honestly, if I was to feed him creosote instead of milk, I could do me fence with him. The thing we've been careful about, though, is even though I have 2 boys, I didn't name either of them after me, because I didn't want to have that big Ed, little Ed thing. Because when you call him one of your sons Little Ed, it just sounds too much like you're talking about your cock. Oh, Little Ed's been misbehaving. It just seems a bit... Honey, will you just hold Little Ed? Just hold Little Ed for just a minute. Hold Little Ed. Oh, Little Ed's been sick on you. It's just not...
Thank you very much, Brian. OK, that leaves us with Gary. Let's see what you've been left with. OK, let's spin that wheel. And the topic is celebrity.
Celebrity. They've started a celebrity magazine for the elderly. It's called Hello, Hello, Hello. Uri Geller, surprisingly hard to stab. Malcolm X chose that name rather than admit he'd accidentally put a kiss at the end of a text message. I went to see Walt Disney on Ice. Bit disappointing, it's just an old bloke in a freezer. The new president of France said this week that English speakers were arrogant in their refusal to learn foreign languages. At least I think that's what he said. But it all just sounded like haw-hee-haw, haw-hee-haw. And remember, that's not racist if it's about the French. I'd have £5 on the Dalai Lama if I was a Tibetan man. When they buried the man who invented Tetris, the whole cemetery disappeared. As well as 7 years in prison here, Abu Hamza could be deported to the United States where he could face the electric chair. But on the plus side, if he is electrocuted, at least he can just stick his hook in the air and pretend to be a bumper car.
Well done, guys. Hey, point to both of you. Come on back. We start with a round called Headliners. Here's a picture of Gordon Brown, but what does BLSC stand for?
Is it Brown Lifts See-Through Cucumber?
Bungle loses showbiz costume.
Is it Bonnie Langford's sex change?
Yeah. To be honest, what a world it would be if that's the answer.
Yeah. More likely to vote for him if he was Bonnie Langford.
Really?
What an extra poster as well. Gordon Brown, because I used to be Bonnie Langford. If you don't vote for me, I'll scream and scream and scream.
Has he just been asked to describe himself and he's gone, balls like swinging coconuts?
Has he just been asked to describe himself and he's gone, bad leader, shocking chancellor?
Yeah.
We're having it tonight.
Is it Brown levitates scared child?
The one that's just out of shot.
Has it got nothing to do with Gordon Brown? Is it Berlusconi's lover, 17?
We all know you spell with a K.
Yeah. Also, I love the idea that maybe you've just done that and there's a horse at home watching going...
Yeah. Sugar cubes? Sugar cubes?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Is he screaming, bring laxatives, situation's critical?
Let me move you towards the correct answer.
Is it Brown's leadership style criticised?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Yes, the answer I was looking for was Brown's leadership style criticised. This is the news that Gordon Brown has come under renewed criticism this week for his style of leadership. He was compared by one Labour MP to a mafia boss. In what way is he possibly like a mafia boss?
Well, we know for one way he's not, is he? Because let's face it, if he said to the public, I'll make you an offer you can't refuse, everybody would still go, no.
Is it a case of mistaken identity where somebody thought they woke up next to a horse's head, but what they'd actually done was just fallen asleep in a cabinet meeting next to Margaret Beckett?
Caroline Flint basically got sacked by Brown and then said that the entire cabinet was really laddish. And you're like, what, Miliband and Alistair Darling? Watch out, we're going to Ayia Napa.
He said that Brown was scary and had an intimidating side. Yeah. And you think, well, why doesn't he show that? Anyway, why doesn't he intimidate Al-Qaeda? Why doesn't he intimidate David Cameron? Why is it that the personality he chooses to present to the world is of an old woman's cushion that's been left out in the back garden for cats to piss on? Gordon Brown is so devoid of any life that if he was a cartoon character, this is the stage where they'd be drafting in a sidekick. Is anyone else sort of puzzled that Gordon Brown's nephew's in the cabinet and that he's a raccoon?
To be honest, though, Frankie might have hit upon something genius there because...
Really?
No, listen. No, because the Labour Party basically need a new frontman. And the raccoon idea is good, but they should go for that little fella out of the Compare the Meerkat advert because he is possibly the most popular thing in the country.
Yeah, he is.
Imagine that. Simple. Clicks his head, economy fixed.
Meerkat. Why is he Russian? Why is the meerkat Russian? I've never understood that.
Why is he dressed up in a stately home? These are questions. Never been made clear to me.
You're making the mistake of imagining that we need something popular to defeat Gordon Brown. You know, you don't need a meerkat. Herpes would beat Gordon Brown.
Let's be honest.
You mean more as a psychic? I don't think herpes would make a good psychic, though. I'm Gordon Brown, and here's my psychic. Yeah, you can see it manifest itself on the corner of my mouth.
They said, haven't they? They said he needs to tone down his dark side.
Yes.
They appear to have confused him with Darth Vader. But maybe they're right. Maybe it's going to turn out, in fact, David Cameron is, in fact, Gordon Brown's son.
Well, we broke it first. I'd love if that happened. Because Cameron, big fan of the show, by the way. I met Cameron during the week in BBC Radio 2, just in the corridor, and he went, hello. And I went, hello. And he went, oh, yeah, mock the week, very good. That Boyle chap.
What did he mean by that, do you think?
I don't know. We just kind of went, because we both like, I had nothing more to add.
You sure it wasn't just on his hit list to MI5, that Boyle chap? Make it look like an accident. This was a criticism made by female Labour MPs, wasn't it? Because they're not been put in the new cabinet. Who wants to be put in Gordon Brown's cabinet? That's like being handed a set of pilot goggles by Emperor Hirohito. Hazel Blair's complaining that women MPs like them are being used as window dressing. Have you seen them? Where would they be window dressing London Dungeon.
But here's also the thing, man. One of the women was sitting there complaining that she couldn't get close to Gordon Brown. And I'm like, who the hell would want to get close to Gordon Brown? Who's going to sit there and look at that sexy guy over there with one eye? I'd sure like to see his moves shake.
I was wondering maybe Gordon Brown could use his disability to his own advantage. You know, maybe he could say, oh, well, yes, I did see the recession coming. I just couldn't tell how far away it was.
This game involves Andy, Rod, Tom and Russell, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winners are the people I judge who produce the funniest stuff. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. The first subject is credit crunch. Who wants to come in on that? Andy Parsons.
Now, the government have got this idea that what they want to do is bankers who've lost their jobs, they want to retrain them as teachers, but in half the time it would normally take to train a teacher. I bet the teachers are happy about that, aren't they? Hey, these people were crap at banking. The chances are they're also going to be crap at teaching, and they'll be even crapper if they're trying to train them in half the time it would normally take. Yeah, these people, right, surely it'd be better to retrain them as bankers. That is what they were crap
Well done, Andy Parsons. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is eating out. Who wants to talk about that? Rod.
I ate out the other day. That's what I went to Cardiff Bay. It's all changed, you know, they've done it all up and it's all European development money, and some of the places now have got tables outside. It's al fresco dining in Wales. Just taking the piss. I think I tried to have a Twixt on a bus stop a few years ago down there. It was too wet to eat. So everyone's pretending it's Madrid down there. You know, your soup bowl's filling up faster than you can eat it. I didn't get past my starters after 7 hours of soup and rainwater I gave up. Everyone's pretending it's Madrid, don't you? Your soup bowl's filling up. There's waiters with frosted eyebrows fighting their way to the tables going, spaghetti carbonara, spaghetti carbonara. I'll get another one, I'll get another one.
Whatever. That leaves us with Tom and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. The next subject is extreme sports. Who wants to come in on that?
No. Why not? I went skydiving. I don't know if anybody here has ever gone skydiving, but if you haven't gone, I'll tell you what they do. They give you a couple lessons, then they bring you up into the plane, and you're not allowed to jump out of the plane on your own because it's too scary. So what they do is they hang you off the wing of the plane, which isn't scary at all. And the guy inside, he yells, "Let go!" 3 times. Then he gets mad. Starts kicking your hands. 'Cause I'm not letting go. We all skydive different. I skydive with a big plane in my hand.
OK, Russell, let's see what you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. Topic is families.
Well, families are quite peculiar. Mine are wonderful. I went to Brighton the other day, and my uncle was like, watch out, it's full of gays, and they'll get you. They'll get me. They're gays, they're not ninjas. Not gonna... I'm so glad that I was raised by lunatics. I remember one of the weirdest stories I had happen to me when I was little. I was 8 years old. I was in Lanzarote. I just put some rubbish in a bin. I came around a corner and I was confronted by 2 werewolves, right? Turned out it wasn't werewolves, it was my mum and dad. Ah, ha, ha, isn't it hilarious? Not really, I've shat myself, right? But I've only recently found out they did not buy the wolf masks in Lanzarote. They bought them in England, which is beautiful and chilling at the same time. Look what I've got, David. Couple of wolf masks. You know, they're like wolves, don't you? Captain Shitterbrick next door. Well, let's put him on now, scare him. Can I hold you just there, David? Can I wait until we're in a foreign country, get him really out of his comfort zone, and then properly shit him out? Damn it is.
Well done, Russell. Point it in and go to Rod and Tom. Our next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board are 6 categories. Rod, which category would you like?
The media, please.
Right, the media, OK. The answer is 1 million. What is the question?
How many Asian children are Brad and Angelina planning to adopt?
Is it, how many times could I punch Adrian Chiles in the face without making him uglier?
Is it in a poll of 1 million people? How many people hate Cristiano Ronaldo?
Is it?
Yes, clearly neither he nor his mother were in the poll then.
No. Is it how many men will take their kids to watch Harry Potter this week simply to see how Hermione's getting along?
Is it, in 20 years' time, what will be the size of the black nation that Madonna rules?
Is it, how many nectar points do you need to get a set of tumblers?
How much of the money that Amy Winehouse made from the song Tried to Make Me Go to Rehab has she spent on rehab?
Is it by what percentage would the situation in the Middle East be improved if we gave George Bush to the Taliban?
Is it, what number would you get if you took everybody in Scotland who gave a shit about the Ashes and added 1 million?
Is it the number? It's something to do with the phone tapping thing.
It is something to do with the phone tapping, yeah.
Is it the number of conversations of John Prescott's they had to listen to before they got one without the words party bucket in it?
Oh, I know what it is. It's the amount of celebrities that were on a list that they were going to...
Not 1 million.
It's the number they
How
paid
long a list? How long a list would that be?
Hey, it's the amount the News of the World had to... That's paid out so far to people who have accused them of tapping their phone.
Absolutely well done, Rod Gilbert. Absolutely spot on. Very good. We come to our final quickfire round called Scenes We'd Like to See. This is for everyone, so if you could make your way over to the performance area, please. I caught ideas for scenarios we'd love to see, and the performers come in with their suggestions. OK, here we go. The first subject is unlikely things to hear on a survival show.
I was first taught to eat in the bush by a French girl I went out with at university.
To get the fish, break the ice, jump the checkout, and run!
Not only is this lake good for fish, but we can also put a body in it.
Using excrement, mud and twigs, they've made primitive bedding here at the Premier Travel Lodge.
I'm in the Congo. Let's settle this once and for all. Do you boys like umbungo?
Here I am in the jungle. The mighty jungle. I win my way, I win my way, I win...
But who are the truly civilised? Is it the Mbupi tribe, or is it us, with our books, our medicine, and our internet? Oh, yes, it's us.
Of course, food is a scarce and valuable resource to these tribespeople. So I've just bagged myself 2 nights with this fella's wife for a Twix.
You know, Ant and Dec think that their jungle's pretty tough. Well, they joined me today. There was no food, so I ate them.
The villagers get up early and walk 5 miles to fetch clean water every day, which begs the question, why not move the village closer?
The strong, powerful sun is making me sweat. Oh, shit, here comes his dad.
I've been living in these woods for 3 weeks now, but that's what happens if you're married to the Home Secretary and she catches you watching porn.
I'm Bear Grylls, and this is my brother, Wolf Stir Fry.
I've just achieved my life's ambition of climbing Everest with no food and no equipment. Now do you love me, Daddy?
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to read on a packet.
Ragu sauce. If you gave this to someone who is actually from Italy, they'd punch you in the face.
To open, push down tab, break tab, swear repeatedly, stab with a pair of scissors!
Serves 4, you greedy bastard. Now put some of that back.
Viagra are proud sponsors of Andy Murray, for people who can only ever achieve a semi.
Bag may also be used for autoerotic asphyxiation.
Fair trade coffee. If you don't like it, you're racist.
Sunny Delight counts towards your 5 a day as -2.
To stop diarrhoea, take 1 teaspoon and shove it up your arse.
Adults and children over 12 years. Try not to get those two mixed up.
Cup of soup. Just add soup.
Best before date, Rohypnol.
Serving suggestion. On a plate, you thick moron.
We use only the very cheapest horse meat to make fuck it, it's just a cat.
Getting that round of points go to Frankie, Hugh and Tom. That is the end of the show. This week's winners are Frankie Boyd, Hugh Dennis and Tom Stade. Commiserations to Andy Parsons, Rod Gilbert and Russell Howard. Thank you for watching. I'm Dara Breen. Good night. Our next round is called Headliners. Here's a picture of Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, but what does ACIP stand for?
Is it Abdul's Carpets, Irresistible Prices?
Is it another celebrity introduces perfume?
What would be... sorry, stench of desert?
Stench of atomic cloud.
And has he forgotten that he comes from an Islamic country and he's going, Happy Christmas, I'm pissed.
Is it a Columbo impersonator performs? Am I torturing you? I'm sorry. Am I torturing you? I'm sorry. This is just going to take 5 fingers. I'm sorry.
Mrs. Columbo loved your bombing.
Mrs. Columbo actually voted for you.
Is it aliens capture Iranian president and he's there going, phone home?
Oh, nice.
I'll give you a clue. The A doesn't stand for Ahmadinejad.
Alan Carr is priceless?
Nor does it stand for Alan. It stands for Ayatollah.
Ayatollah.
Aladdin.
Ayatollah confirms Iranian president.
Very good. Well done, Hugh. Thank you very much. Yes, the answer I was looking for was Ayatollah confirms Iranian president. This is a story that Ayatollah Khamenei has finally declared Mahmoud Ahmadinejad the winner of June's Iranian presidential elections, despite ongoing protests.
But what was incredible about it, so basically they were accused of stealing the election and then people protested, and then Ahmadinejad said, you know who's to blame, don't you? Britain. And we all went, eh? We're watching Wimbledon, mate. I've got no idea. We're watching a hairy Scottish man do very well.
Savvy was his opponent, wasn't he? And after the election, he had his supporters come out and marched, and then Ahmadinejad's supporters came out and did a counter-march, and then there was another march, and it was basically, if only we had some way of telling who had the most supporters, like maybe some sort of election or something. Don't we need to get perspective here? OK, they arrest protesters. We arrested protesters after G20.
Yep.
They killed a protester. We killed a guy who wasn't even protesting. They've got Sharia law that isn't very nice to women. We've got Jude law.
How did you come to the attention of a lot of people over here?
Twitter.
They use Twitter.
We use
It
Twitter
was a
and
beautiful,
Facebook.
it was a beautiful story about that when Ahmadinejad.
It's not a name that you can't pronounce, but it's a name that you have to think about just before you pronounce.
Yes.
He probably thinks that everybody's just incredibly dramatic. Hello, President Ahmadinejad. Why is everybody so arch in Iran? I don't know, President Ahmadinejad.
What was amazing about the Twitter story was that because they're so scared of protesting, that the way they were going to protest when Ahmadinejad was going to be on TV, they were going to put on every household appliance so that they could try and cause a blackout to get him off telly. Isn't that beautiful? He's on, put on the kettle, plug in the Hoover.
You're there sat there with your Tetleys going, I'm part of a revolution.
All Twitter was all obviously on one side until Ahmadinejad himself went on Twitter and he tweeted, hey everybody, some crazy stories about the election. Basavi got pwned. Mega lols. And all these bands, like, this is the endorsement. For God, I'm sorry. This is a sense of scale. This is a country that aspires towards nuclear weaponry. This is their presidential endorsement. That's a raffle at a school hall, right?
I actually played that club, and it's very distracting with those three guys behind it.
He also doesn't seem to have any feet. Where have his feet gone?
OK, the next topic is unlikely film trailers.
One man fights his greatest peril. Laryngitis.
Troy, certificate 15. If you're too young, why don't you make a giant wooden adult?
Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler in. Wow, don't matter, does it? It's going to be shit anyway.
A UKIP film presentation, 101 Damn Asians.
Tom Cruise in the most ludicrous sci-fi thriller yet, a Scientology documentary.
This summer, Russell Crowe is punching people randomly in the face.
From the makers of Kaka 1. Kaka 2.
Do you want to build a snowman? Do you want to have the words to let it go in your head all the time until you die? Then come see Frozen. I dare you.
Thor. You'll be amazed at how many problems can be solved by a big man with a massive hammer.
I Can't Read Productions presents Salmon Fishing in the Seaman, Yemen.
Look, an ancient African city. From the makers of Timbuk 1.
Russell Crowe stars as Bob Marley. The accent's so offensive you won't even care that he blacked up.
No, this isn't the day the Earth stood still. It's just that you're in Norfolk.
Tom Cruise. Explosions. A flash of boob. That'll do you.
Despicable Me 3, now starring as the arch-villain Gru, Dara O'Brien.
It looks like a runner bean, only smaller. From the makers of Mange 1.
I only told you to blow the bloody door off. In cinemas now, the Oscar Pistorius story.
At the end of that round, the point's going to Ed Milton. What proposal has Energy Secretary Chris Huhne announced this week?
He's going to try and force energy companies to reduce prices, isn't he?
Something about... Yeah, he is, yeah, because he thinks that people aren't getting the competition they deserve.
I think the problem there is that people don't understand energy supplier, the phrase, do they? Particularly teenagers and stuff. You say, you know, have you switched your energy supplier? They'll probably go, well, like I was on Lucozade, now I'm on Relentless.
That's the problem. That is the voice of young Britain, right?
I'm, in fact, on Economy 7. Oh. And that's supposed to save you money because the idea is you do things overnight. But I'm not sure it does actually save you money because you tend to put the washing machine to go on overnight, then you actually forget that you've put it on. 2 days later, you go back to the washing machine, smell the clothes, think, I better put those on again.
Isn't Economy 7 saving you money so long as you're using it in 1986?
Not that I'm aware.
I would say to you, Andy, that cookability is...
And if you want to save energy, Andy, you want to fit the best fit ever.
It's called Economy 7.
It is called Economy 7, yeah.
Andy, I've got something to say to you. Boom, 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 boom. That's so blue.
Leave him. Don't take the piss out of him. He's got a tiger in his tank.
The funny is, I don't get any of these jokes because I grew up in Ireland. I don't get any of these jokes.
How about fiddly-dee, have coal?
That wasn't a popular ad in Ireland. Thank you very much.
It would make things a lot easier if there was an actual difference when you switch supplier. If they went, I've gone from EDF to British Gas, and now, I don't know, it looks a bit French or something. Do you know what I mean? If it just had something about it, that it wasn't patently exactly the same gas and just a different bill.
Then you think the gas should come out in a different colour?
Yes, I don't know, or shape or something.
Oh, I like this. This is new. Ooh, dun 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 dun. Every so often, a Sonnet Lumiere show would go on.
My father is convinced that since they switched to a French-owned electricity company, that it's coming through slower. He is sure of it. I don't know what it means.
And did you think that it's kind of coming with a kind of a French? I'll be there in a minute. Why are you so desperate to have a cup of tea? I'll be there.
I'm still distressed to find out that my Economy 7 only existed back in the 1980s.
OK. The next topic is things you didn't hear at the Olympics.
I am the little girl from the opening ceremony. This is my real voice.
That gymnast is so supple. If my wife could do that, we'd still be together.
Chinese athlete with number 36 in his chest. That means he's a chicken chow mein.
And it's gold for Ireland!
Well, that'll be low marks for synchronicity, but high marks for execution. Clean shot to the head, backwards off the board, pool full of blood, magnificent.
Next, over to Gabby Logan, who's going to tell us whether or not she's a transvestite.
And it...
Go on, go again, man, go again. Do it.
And there's...
I'm not letting you off for the last Ireland joke. You're not getting on again for the rest of the show. You are not doing another one for the rest of the show, all right?
You've just been...
Oh, let's look at the clock. It's more interesting than the show jumping.
The one thing we're all thinking during the Olympics, doesn't Claire Balding look like Eddie Izzard?
Nobody can touch this Russian gymnast except their coach and their uncle.
And here comes...
Well, what a morning. We've got medals in the Yingling, Tiddly and Poe.
Next, the rhythmic gymnastics. You might want to start beating out your own rhythm at home.
And here...
And the French have 4 faults: their language, their food, their underarm hair, and the fact that they are French.
A surprise in the canoeing, where the British athlete has gone missing.
It was after I heard the buzzer that I realised there was one thing I hadn't heard at the Olympics, right, was fuck it.
The next topic is things that would change the atmosphere at a dinner party.
Ignore the banging. She's been in there for 24 years.
Help yourself to Nibbles. He was our favourite hamster, but it's what he would have done.
Are you sure this is pork? It's just because Mike Crackling has a tattoo.
Don't worry, we don't say grace. We just sacrifice a child to the great god Imhotep.
Doorbell! Excellent. That'll be Heather Mills and James Blunt. Hope he's brought his guitar.
I hope nobody's allergic to nuts, because I like to rest mine on the table.
Well, this is absolutely lovely. I say we all raise a glass to the Fuhrer!
10 of you arrived. Only 1 will leave.
Anyway, long story short, after about 2 hours, you couldn't tell what was poo and what was chocolate.
There is a vegetarian option. You can fuck off.
The next round is called If This Is the Answer, What Is the Question? On the board, there are 6 categories. Sarah, which category would you like?
Oh, entertainment, please,
OK,
Darren.
grand. Entertainment is the category. The answer is 1.84 billion. What is the question?
Is it how many different members of the Sugar Babes there'll be before they're actually any good?
Is it how old would Silvio Berlusconi look if you removed the clip at the back of his head?
It's possibly Paleolithic, isn't it?
Is it what were the disappointingly low viewing figures for this week's China's Got Talent?
Is it... That's lovely. Is it the number of pointless things written on Twitter per day? I have eaten an apple. Well done, you.
Is it how many wombles are living wild in the sewers of London?
You're closer to a womble. You're closer to a womble than any given time in London.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah,
they were chased off the common by the Teletubbies. They've gone feral. And the wombles that you see are not indigenous British wombles. They're the American grey womble.
Is it how much did Channel 4 offer Osama bin Laden to appear in Celebrity Big Brother?
I'm getting on very well with Vinny.
Yeah. Is it how many stamps Russell Brand has got in his STD clinic rewards card? 'Cause if you get it all full, you get AIDS.
Is it if the world's oldest man is 140, how old does his scrotum look?
That's very
Idiot,
funny.
how many times Madonna has phoned up Brad and Angelina this week asking what's happening to the kids?
OK, let's go towards the correct answer.
I know the answer. It's to do with Avatar, isn't it?
What is the record for the biggest-selling film of all time, which it's just overtaken, which was Titanic?
Yeah, that's actually... Yeah. More or less, the question I was looking for was what is the figure in dollars that Avatar passed this week, overtaking Titanic to become the biggest grossing film of all time? The film took just 17 days to make $1 billion.
17 days?
17 days.
To make $1 billion?
To make $1 billion.
That's more than I earn in a year.
I haven't seen it because, frankly, I don't like the idea of it. It seems to me to be based on the Smurfs.
Now, are you basing that entire opinion on that photograph?
No, I think there are 2 or 3 things I'm worried about. One, it seems to be based on the Smurfs. Secondly, they seem to be getting some unobtainable mineral, don't they? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
Unobtainium.
Unobtainium is a bit
Is that
lame.
what we in the UK...
We're going to get some unobtainium.
It's
it's as rare as that'll be handium. And I wish we had a bit of thatium.
Is it what we in the UK... Is it what we in the UK would call road grit?
It's rubbish, man. Everyone goes, oh, it's the ultimate cinema experience. It's not. Ultimate cinema experience, I watched The Sixth Sense. You know that, the moment, I see dead people. A bloke at the back of the cinema went, that's nothing, mate, I shagged them. That's the ultimate cinema experience. That will never be beaten.
I think it's impressive. It is impressive. It's not as difficult as they make out to create, you know, that whole blue population thing. I mean, in fact, it's relatively easy. There we go.
To be honest, Dara, that looks quite normal on you.
Yeah. And I actually don't look that... I look like I fit in, you know? I look like...
I look like Mr. Tumnus.
Well, for some reason, they've turned me ginger. Which is
You look like Mr. Tumnus' security.
It's just advanced colouring in, isn't it?
That's exactly what it is.
It essentially is advanced colouring in,
Because James Cameron apparently has threatened that there'll be 2 sequels.
He has, yeah.
It just feels like that's how, you know, when serial killers sort of taunt the police. I will strike again. No.
Look, that was the best thing about Titanic was the fact there couldn't be a sequel.
The question I was looking for was, what was Europe's winning score in the Ryder Cup? This is news that Europe's golfers retained the Ryder Cup after producing a stunning comeback in a tense and exciting final day in Chicago. After trailing the United States 10-6 after 2 days' play, they produced an outstanding performance to win by 14.5 points to the United States' 13.5 points. Did you watch it?
Yeah, it's brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the course was all set up, of course, for the Americans. They had very long fairways for their big hitters, not too much rough, so as they play their iron shots, and very few female spectators to distract Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods, of course, who lost the foursomes, which came as a surprise because he'd had so much practice.
I've never seen such a thrilling game of golf, and I didn't see this one either.
Do you love the American names, though? Because that's what I like most about it. Their captain is called Davis Love III. And I thought, that is a great name, but do I need to know that? That you love the 3rd? I mean, I love the 18th, but don't go on about it.
I'd like Dara to say it, though.
What, Davis Love the 3rd?
Oh,
yeah, I know you wanted me to say...
Sport.
You wanted me to say deterred, and then we're dancing with a pig under my arm.
Yeah. That is exactly what I want.
By the way, the Americans were 10-6 up, which is, till then, a historically unassailable lead, practically away from home. But they had a rousing speech on the night before.
Yeah. George Bush.
George
W. Bush.
George W. Bush.
On the Saturday night, when it looked like the fight was won, George W. Bush came along and said the fight was won, and then the next day the fight was lost. How unlike George W. Bush to say the fight has been won, and then it turns out it's not. The US team can count themselves lucky they're not still on the course in bunkers doing that with mortars flying over their heads.
Yeah, Bush walks out and goes, mission accomplished. Yeah. Cut to 2 years later, well, we hope to get our golfers out of the course some stage soon. We want to bring them back for Christmas. That's what we're hoping. Yeah. Who needed a police car to take him to the first tee?
Rory McIlroy.
Wow, very good. Yes, you're absolutely right.
His excuse was that the coverage on the telly was timed as being an hour on Eastern time, when in fact he was in Illinois. So it was an hour. There was an hour difference. But the fact is, he was still watching the Ryder Cup. On the telly, he was still there going, oh, what's on? Golf. I love golf. That's the Where are these people up to? A lot of people standing around looking at their watches. What's he
playing him today?
Where's Rory, when this guy turns up, is he going to be... Wow.
Ding! Penny drop. Here's a picture of the European team celebrating their win. Can you sum this up with a phrase or a caption?
Yep, what a load of swingers.
This is what's happening in the 1970s right now.
I think they're twisting again, you know, like we did last summer.
Is this Marks and Spencer's launches its new looks like a dick range?
Yeah. This year's lineup for Strictly looks a bit shit.
Yeah. Is it Gangnam Style?
Gangnam Style. It's their version of Gangnam Style. It's in fact Gingham Style.
You think they look happy? You just see the bloke in the jacket shop. I sold them! I sold them!
Somewhere there's a branch of Garfunkels with no tablecloths.
Okay, so that leaves Nish. Let's see what your topic is. Let's spin the wheel. The topic is race.
I'll take this one, Reese. Difficult and interesting time to be a non-white person living in Britain right now. But I think things are improving, especially to be a non-white comedian. Because 10 years ago, I got some advice from a former agent. She said, Nish, you should stop mentioning on stage that you're not white. And I was like, people are gonna know. I'm not exactly flying under the radar race-wise here. So a couple of weeks later, I got offered an audition in a sitcom. Now, that part required me to do what was cheerfully referred to in the script as the accent, right? Weren't talking about French, were they? Now, when that came in, I said, there's absolutely no way that I'm going to do that. It's cheap, it's Uncle Tom, it's selling out my entire cultural heritage. And she said, this is the problem with you, Nish. You take too high-minded approach. You'll never be successful in comedy because you will never do comedy that relates to the man in the factory. And when she said that, I said, I don't really relate to your paradigm of the man in the factory. I think what you're trying to say is that I should appeal to as high a percentage of the British population as possible. But in the 80s, we shifted from a manufacturing to a service-based economy. So actually, if you wanted to talk about most of the British public, what you should have said is the man who works in the shop or the man who works in a hotel. And she said, I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about.
Thank you very much, Nish. Points in the line go to Reece James. Come back.
Now we come to scenes we'd like to see. So if everyone can make their way over to the performance area, I'll read out this week's topics and then we'll see what our panelists can come up with. OK, here we go. The first subject is commercials that never made it to air.
Fungal foot problem.
Have you been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault? Of course you have, because that is the definition of an accident.
FIFA summer sofa sale. Total office clear out. Bribe now, pay later.
Andrex, because who wouldn't want to wipe their ass with a puppy?
Carlsberg don't do your girlfriend, but I have.
What's that? Yeah, mate, I got some bad news about your dad.
Why pay more for ratchet, trifling-ass pilots when you can get to where you're going on EasyJet? A basic bitch will get you there.
We call it a Happy Meal. The cow we killed wasn't too chuffed, though.
Waitrose, 2 for the price of 3.
We had debts all over the place, but Wonga took all those debts and put them in one simple loan. They also took our house.
Are your vet's bills getting on top of you? Then why not try Dognatas?
Want to save money on biscuits? Easy. Give blood.
From Laboratoire Garnier, Paris. Because if we said it was from Unit 5 of a Luton industrial estate, you wouldn't buy it, would you?
Struggling to sleep? Why not try 10 cans of Stella?
Did you mistake your girlfriend for a burglar on Valentine's Day? Then you need to go to Specsavers.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe!
The Lynx effect.
That one's accent is a bit more racist than that one's accent. There you go. Just compared the meerkats.
OK, the next topic is lines you wouldn't hear in a sci-fi movie.
Hi, is that NHS Direct? Yeah, a bit of a temperature and I've got an alien coming out of my stomach. 2 paracetamol, OK.
OK, Mr. Zulu. Set course for the 4th quadrant to the Orion Nebula. I think there's a Nando's there.
We're sorry to announce that there is a replacement beam down service this weekend between the ship and the planet Sploog.
You've got to imagine this in a Scottish accent. This is our Independence Day! There you go.
They abducted us and took us to their spacecraft, and then they explored our bodies with strange probes. I'll be honest, it was the best stag night I'd ever been on.
This man can now reach the full potential of his brain. Joey, wake up, you can tie your shoes. Reem.
What the people don't know, Captain Kirk, is that when I do that V thing, that means in Vulcan, I've had your mum.
I think this time tunnel is broken. We have gone 1,000 years into the future and Bruce Forsyth is still working.
If you take the red pill, you will enter the Matrix. If you take the blue pill, you will have a boner for 7 hours.
This is it. The machines are taking over. Hashtag apocalypse.
Yeah, I've had a look at it, mate. The problem is your nano boosters are shot and your warp drive is fucked.
Our planet is dying. We seek a new home. Which of you is Phil and which of you is Kirsty?
The dinosaurs are killing everyone. Why do we keep reopening this park? Who keeps giving us public liability insurance?
So the plan is you get in the time machine, go back in time, and cock-block Hitler's dad.
Phone home. Phone in Joan. No, phone home.
OK, at the end of that, the points go to Matt, Catherine and Andy. The first subject is rejected exam questions.
History. Did I delete it?
If cycling 10 miles a day uses up 400 calories, explain why Boris Johnson is still a fat bastard.
If the sun is 93 million miles away, how can that cost £32 in an Uber?
Where is Greece? Is it A, the southern Mediterranean, or B, up shit creek?
What does the French phrase déjà vu literally translate as?
Using examples of Michelangelo's work, write 500 words on why he was the best turtle.
What does the French phrase déjà vu literally translate as?
Question A. Media studies. Is it a real subject? Question B. Is it...
Using a compass and ruler, draw perfect cock and balls.
Is this a rhetorical question?
You may now commence your anal sex exam. Please turn over.
Explain how UKIP became a major force in British politics without using the word wanker.
If Jay-Z is unfortunate enough to have a problem with a bitch, how many problems does Jay-Z now have?
Aggravated violence, question 1. Why might you use a bit of rubber hose pipe? No marks.
What colour is this dress? White and gold or black and blue? Discuss.
If a train leaves the station at the correct time and arrives at its destination at the correct time, how cool would that be?
Chemistry. Me, you. Is there any?
OK, the next topic is unlikely things to say when running for US president.
I'm Hillary Clinton, and if you elect me the first female president of the United States, I promise you that on my first day in the White House, I will hire a very attractive male intern. He will be on his knees, not having sexual relations with me all day. Hashtag payback, hashtag long game.
I want to go to Washington. Why? I want to see what colour the White House is.
No, we can't!
The name Clinton is in the DNA of the White House. In fact, the DNA of Clinton are on the walls of the White House.
I know the value of family because I sold one of my children to pay for this campaign.
As president, I will welcome immigrants, because the White House is massive and it's not going to clean itself.
I will govern for all of this country. Not just the metropolitan cities on the coast, but also you cousin shaggers down south.
I would like to introduce you to my new Homeland Security advisor. Say hi, Lamb Chop.
Hi. Come on. Of course I'm the guy to succeed Obama. You know what they say? Once you go black.
If you elect me America's first colourblind president, I will do everything I can to uphold the values of the brown, white and green.
I would now like to talk to you people in a language of my own devising.
I want to put more boots on the ground in Afghanistan, and also 2 more branches of paper chase.
What you must remember is the people we need to convince are the great American people. And most of them are as thick as pig shit.
I'd like to apologise for Mr. Trump. Which is what I say when I've just farted in bed.
When I was little, I did not plan to be President of the United States. This is more like a holding job until I get to rule a good country.
I am American through and through. Cut me, and I will shoot you in the face.
I wish to have no secrets in this campaign. I wish to be completely open, and it is done. That is why I'm going to start that again, because I fucked that up.
We Republicans want to reach out to all Americans. Blacks, whites, Chinese-y-looking ones.
I want to have no secrets in this campaign, and that is why I have gathered you here tonight to tell you I shot JFK.
Okay, give that round of applause to Ed, Sarah and Andy. And the topic is relationships. Who wants to come into that? Russell.
Britain, I have sexual advice for you. That's right. When I was 18, I used food in the bedroom. Now, don't ever do it. It didn't go well, right? I used Rolo yogurt. And rather than tell... Yeah, exactly, right? Rather than tell my then-girlfriend what I had planned, I pretty much waited for her like some hideous yogurt goblin, right? I doubt there's anything more terrifying than coming home to find me naked, holding yogurt, going, yeah, yeah. Right? And I panicked, and rather than putting a little bit on, I pretty much basted her, right? By the time I'd finished, she looked a bit like Morph. You're sat there. I created an angry meal. You don't know where to start licking. You don't want to lick randomly, then she looks like she's got an illness. So, I did foot up to knee. That took me an hour. And hours, I was just... She looked like an angry gingerbread lady who'd had her leg dipped in Tipex, right? It didn't end there. I was like, I can't help you. The door opened, one of my dogs ran in and started licking the other leg. Never use food in the bedroom.
Thank you very much, Russell Howard. So that leaves us with Stuart. Let's have a look at the last topic then. And the topic is family. Stuart.
Before I rock the microphone, I want to I want to dedicate my performance to my father, who was a roofer. So, Dad, if you're up there. I'll tell you about my family. I'm the youngest of 3. My parents are both older, and I have mixed-race parents. My father prefers the 100 meters, and my mother's Pakistani. I was raised by my father. My mother left before I was born. And you know... I like being raised by my father. He's schizophrenic, but he's good people. I remember one summer I was 5 and he was Mussolini. Went to the park that day. I love parks. Standing in the park today wondering, why does a Frisbee appear larger the closer it gets? And then it hit me. My uncle's a hypnotist who has never inappropriately touched me. I have to leave now. I'm a member of Overactors Anonymous, and we have an Overactors Anonymous meeting that starts in...
Now we play a round called Your Grexits Are Here, Here and Here. This game involves James and Gary, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This round is a stand-up challenge. I launch the wheel of news, and whoever chooses to stop, one of the performers must step forward and talk about that subject. OK, here we go. The first subject is... parties. Who wants to go into that? James.
I went to a surprise party recently for my friend Darryl. We were all in his living room, all of us, in the dark, hiding. His girlfriend turned to us all, she went, right, he's going to be here in a minute. When he gets in, everyone jump out, yell surprise, and that will be really surprising. I argued it'd be a lot more surprising if instead of making all that commotion, we all just stood there in his living room in the dark, just... When he comes in and turns the lights on, see how surprised he is then? It's a good party. I schmoozed. I'm good at schmoozing. Buttering people up. I'll give you some schmoozing tips, why not? A lot of people will tell you when you're schmoozing, have a good icebreaker, right? Break the ice. What they won't tell you, at the end of the conversation, unbreak the ice. You don't want anyone else swooping in, taking advantage of all the lovely little ice cubes that you created. So freeze it over again before you leave. So as you're leaving, just slide something under the fence, like death comes to us all, something like that.
Thank you very much, James. So, Gary's left. Let's see what topic you have, Gary. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is childhood.
I didn't know what to get my little niece for Christmas, so I asked my sister what she's into. And apparently, at the moment, she's mad about frozen stuff, so I got her some oven chips and peas. They love that. Every Christmas day, we'd always have pigs in blankets, or as you probably call them, relatives sleeping in the spare room. Winnie the Pooh, possibly the most vindictive chapter in Nelson Mandela's autobiography. It was only after I shot the 5th zombie that I started to wonder why they were all carrying bags of sweets and ringing my doorbell. I've been trying to recapture my lost youth. I really must get that cellar door fixed. One time when I was a kid, I bought a chocolate bar. On the inside of the wrapper, it said, "You're a loser." I wouldn't mind if there'd been some sort of competition on. To make things worse, it was a boost. As a family, we couldn't decide whether to have Nana buried or cremated, so in the end, we let her live. My 13-year-old cousin's already started taking heroin. It's amazing, isn't it? They shoot up so fast these days.
Well done. Very good. Put together, I'm going to go to lady. Everyone come back. now we play a round called Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. This game involves Lucy, Greg, Andy and Russell, so if you could make your way to the performance area, please. This is where we test our performers' stand-up skills. We spin our news generator, it settles on a topic, and anyone can volunteer jokes about the chosen subject. The winners are the people I judge to produce the funniest stuff. That is just against nature. OK, here we go. Let's spin the wheel. OK, the first topic is Britain. Who wants to come in on that?
Yes, I love Britain. Do you? Kind of. I think Britain's amazing, but I think we're quite hard on ourselves. Like, if you go to America and you do shows, they always get this thing where you go on stage in America, like in Chicago, and you say, oh, so what's Chicago like? And they go nuts. They go, woo, yeah, Chicago, woo, 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 for about a day. And then you come back over to Britain and you go to somewhere like Birmingham and you say, oh, so what's Birmingham like? And they all go, oh, it's a bit shit. I live in London, in Britain. I live in Kentish Town, which is lovely because it is actually like a Kentish town. Unfortunately, the town in Kent it's like is Maidstone, which is crap. North London's quite posh, though, because there's a hairdresser's near us, which is called the Elysian Fields Hairdressers. Oh, it's where heroic hair goes to die. Where I used to live in South London, the hairdresser was called We're Going to Cut You, Slag.
Thank you very much, Mr. Porter. OK, let's spin the wheel again. The subject is sport. Who wants to come in on that?
So, hey, Freddie Flintoff, how drunk would he have been on Monday night? That's all I've got on that one. We have got a great new British hope for our sport, though. Laura Robson, Britain's tennis, 15 years old, both her parents Australian. We don't mind immigration when they've got a bit of talent. We object to people sneaking into Britain on a rubber dinghy unless they can do it really bloody quickly.
Thank you very much, Andy Parsons. OK, that leaves us with Greg and Russell. Let's spin the wheel. The next topic is education. Who wants to come in on that? Russell.
I remember school being fun. I think my favourite moment ever in life, pretty much. There was a girl in our school called Lydia. She was trying to make her calculator work. She was repeatedly knocking it against a desk. And after about an hour, our teacher went, Lydia! How would you like it if I banged you against the desk? It's the greatest day of school. But that was more sinister, isn't it? Like, they're now talking about teaching 5-year-olds sex education. Of course, people are very angry. It's disgusting! It's too much! Like, calm down. Not going to teach them technique. This is how I like to do it, kids. That's right. Kids aren't going to run home, put dolls around a toy car and go, look, Mum, they're dogging, they're dogging. It's going to be some poor teacher trying to talk to 5-year-olds about love. Can you imagine a harder job? Hello, children. I'm here to teach you about love. Good luck with that, mate. I'm off to lick that tree.
Thank you very much, Russell. OK, Greg, let's see what topic you've been left with. Let's spin the wheel. And the topic is the human body.
I have to tell you that being a tall man in this country is tedious, ladies and gentlemen. Tedious, because in small towns throughout the country, there are a series of jokes prepared by the locals on our behalf. I'll be walking innocently into a local pub or down the street, and I'll get several jokes. One of the jokes might be this. Just to give you an example of the level we're talking about. Another joke might be, what's the weather like up there? It's freezing. There's a massive climate change in this amount of space here. You toothless buffoon. And probably the most offensive example of this is genuine. I was at a cash point and there was a little old woman in front of me at the cash point tapping away with her claws. And I'm sorry, I'm just quite angry about this. And when she'd finished, bless her heart, she turned around and she hadn't seen me. She turned around and she went like this. Oh! Not that sexually. She said, oh! And then with no hint of irony at all, she asked me this question. Would you like a job at my house? Changing light bulbs? No. No, old woman. I have plans of my own. Now, get out of the way of the cash point. 20 minutes is long enough for you to have worked out that that's a Tesco club card.
Thank you very much, Greg. At the end of that round, the points go to Greg and Lucy. Things you wouldn't hear at a party conference.
Muscle top!
Why are we having this conference in Blackpool? 2 words. Cheap cocaine.
Jeremy Hunt is having a heart attack. Is there a doctor in the house? Why are you laughing?
So, we'll be having one speech from a Remainer, a speech from a Brexiteer, another speech from a Remainer, another speech from a Brexiteer, and then Boris Johnson will drop his trousers. So that's in, out, shake it all about.
What this conference has taught me is this party needs more women, because the hotel bar last night was an absolute sausage fest.
Welcome, delegates, to this year's Liberal Democrat Conference. Conference.
So to those who say we have alienated too many groups in society to get elected, let me say this. Fuck off.
I know some of you have been challenging my leadership, and to you I say, bring it on, ya ball bags.
Some have said that the Labour Party has lost contact with its working-class roots. But I say to these people the same thing I said to my driver this morning. Do not address me directly.
So, now we've sorted out Brexit.
They told us Brexit was undeliverable. They told us Brexit was unworkable. But where are they now? They are outside with banners saying, I told you so.
Right, it's the Green Party conference, and now it's time to break for lunch. Who ordered the veal?
I'm afraid Rhys Mogg can't be with us today. Someone hung garlic at the threshold and he can't pass through.
So everything is still on the table. Why has no one cleared the table?
It's incredible to think that some people think of us as a cult. Anyway, could you all just line up while Jeremy Corbyn chooses his wives?
Of course the Tories are like regular people. You should have seen us in the bar last night. Giles' wet nurse downed a whole bottle of port.
We have had soft Brexit. We have had hard Brexit, but now we have a more digestible alternative. Ready Brexit.
Do you enjoy Christmas? Do you like the holiday season?
Why isn't there any decoration on the set?
I know, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Without any decoration, boys?
Oh. Yeah! Christmas is here!
Nothing.
That's...
Nothing makes Christmas more than a miserable Scot just going...
Do it now. This should be the opening of the Olympic ceremony. That'll be good.
Well, do you enjoy the Christmas?
I hate Christmas. It's like the opening sequence of Saving Private Ryan, except every third person is a woman puking into a handbag. People queuing to get into Yates's wine lodge. That sums up Christmas. You're queuing to get into somewhere shit. Just women who are praying for the invention of the morning after Bacardi Breezer.
You make Christmas specials a lot differently than we do in Australia.
Yeah.
See, this is the most miserable Christmas thing I've ever been involved in. This is my worst Christmas.
Things you wouldn't hear on a science documentary.
My favourite element is helium. I can't speak highly enough of it.
The solar system is so vast that it could comfortably accommodate your mum.
The most fascinating thing is, if you really spend enough time looking at the alignment of the stars, your wife will leave you.
They call it dark matter. Well, whatever it is, I've tried to flush it 4 times and it's still bloody there.
The light from this new, distant planet takes so long to get here that we're actually seeing things that happened years ago. And that's why scientists have named it Dave.
Tonight, we're discussing sports science. Is it a real job, or is it just PE when it's raining?
In our next experiment, we're going to prove that putting Dara Ó Briain in a room full of young people still doesn't make science interesting.
I think we've got the points.
So, if we look through the telescope, we can see the biggest black hole ever found. Oh no, I've left the lens cap on.
Weren't D-Ream shit? How does your granny's stairlift work? Well, it's all to do with nanotechnology.
No, Nigel, that's not how you make a test tube baby. Get your penis out of the test tube.
So this is amazing, right? So what you're saying is that somewhere, Professor Cox, in a parallel universe, there is a me with hair. That's right, Dara.
The end of that round. Nobody gets any points at the end of that round. Commercials that never made it to air.
Fungal foot problem.
Have you been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault? Of course you have, because that is the definition of an accident.
FIFA Summer Sofa Sale. Total office clear out. Bribe now, pay later.
Andrex, because who wouldn't want to wipe their ass with a puppy?
Carlsberg don't do your girlfriend, but I have.
What's that?
Yeah, mate, I got some bad news about your dad.
Why pay more for ratchet, trifling-ass pilots when you can get to where you're going on EasyJet? A basic bitch will get you there.
We call it a happy meal. The cow we killed wasn't too chuffed, though.
Waitrose, 2 for the price of 3.
We had debts all over the place, but Wonga took all those debts and put them in one simple loan. They also took our house. Are your vet's bills getting on top of you? Then why not try Dognatas?
Want to save money on biscuits? Easy. Give blood.
From Laboratoire Garnier, Paris. Because if we said it was from Unit 5 of a Luton industrial estate, you wouldn't buy it, would you?
Struggling to sleep? Why not try 10 cans of Stella?
Did you mistake your girlfriend for a burglar on Valentine's Day? Then you need to go to Specsavers.
I can't breathe! I can't breathe! The Lynx effect.
That one's accent is a bit more racist than that one's accent. There you go. Just compared the meerkats.
We start with a round called Picture of the Week. I show the panel a topical image and ask them to tell me what's happening. So, what's going on here?
Oh, is this the live-action remake of the Pixar film Up?
Is Trump saying, of all the Kims I've met this week, you're in the top 2 sexiest?
Is Donald Trump saying, I've always been a very big fan of yours, Mr. McIntyre?
Wait. Is it the finalists from the world's worst hair competition meet up?
Is Trump saying, don't look now, but he's got a telephone on his head?
Don't think much of this remake of Rush Hour.
Is this the people who are down to the last 2 to present Saturday Night Takeaway?
Is he having a little fart there? Look, his little back flaps up.
How long have you been working in men's tailoring? It's not. I'm not sure that's exactly what it's for, but it's certainly never referred to as. And we've also included a little black flap.
Or is Trump saying it's good to see the American flag next to the flag for Pret a Manger?
Does anyone have the actual answer?
This is the summit between Kim Jong-un and Donald Trump in Singapore.
Absolutely right. Thank you very much. Yes. This is a picture of the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un and US President Donald Trump. This week, the two signed an agreement to move towards the denuclearization of North Korea. How did the summit go, then? Are we writing the first draft of history here? Was it a success, or are we all going, did that just happen? What was that?
It seemed to go well, but you can't really tell. Trump did no preparation, apparently, for it at all. And his excuse for doing that was that he didn't need to, because he said, I rely on my touch, my feel, that's what I do. And that is why 24 women are accusing him of sexual assault.
North Korea said that they would destroy a missile site, but they didn't specify that it would be a North Korean missile site.
We shall denuclearise by using up all our nuclear bombs on South Korea.
A plan which is literally soul destroyer.
Yes.
You also don't need to know.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Trump said the past does not have to define our future, which to me proves that he has read Gareth Southgate's England team talk.
How did he arrive, by the way? Did he arrive in a great pomp?
In a big house with balloons attached to them.
He arrived in a sort of a motorcade, didn't he, with lots of...
He does. He always travels in the
bodyguards.
motorcade with people running alongside.
Look like they've just push-started it.
Is he going to win a Nobel Prize for this? I'm sorry, just put that. Is he going to win the Nobel Prize for this?
Which one?
Trump, presumably.
He's certainly not going to win it for physics or literature.
Picture of Kanye West performing at Glastonbury Festival this weekend, headlined the Pyramid Stage on Saturday night. The rapper told the crowd, "You are now watching the greatest living rock star on the planet." To which the entire crowd went, "My God, who's dead?"
He wasn't the biggest rock star in Somerset.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't the biggest rock star in that field at that time.
Literally.
Let alone the planet, yeah.
He also described himself as the new Warhol, and I think we misheard him a bit there.
130,000 people signed a pledge, didn't they, to try and get him replaced? And there was a moment, wasn't there, when that crane hoisted him above the crowd that I actually thought they'd achieved their aim for a moment.
on the coverage of this, I was kind of on the social media coverage. There was one bloke who said the only way he got through his set, this bloke's set, was when he realised that Kanye West is an anagram of Sweaty Ken.
I bumped into Rob at Glastonbury. He was so excited about being there. You should have seen his little face.
So, I agreed to do Glastonbury because it said you're on at 12:50. What I didn't read was AM. I was expecting a nice little midday gig, and I was there for 12 hours before I was on. And if you do a poo there, you have to... The toilets, basically the toilets, is scaffold over wheelie bins, and there's a hole over each wheelie bin. You have to take a cup of mud with you. There's bags of mud, and then you do a poo, and you have to pour your mud over your poo. I felt like a cat.
Are you telling me that your cat can hold a cup? That toilet situation is just so you've got scaffolding and you've got wheelie bins underneath.
Yeah, 1/3 of the toilets were kind of essentially a compost heap. So they wanted to recycle. They could use it as human waste as it. Yeah. So they had people with sand or soil or whatever.
Well, why do you need fertiliser over that? All everyone's having all weekend it's cider and kebabs. What are you trying to grow with that? What are they trying to grow? People to go on Jeremy Kyle? It's a joke.
My mum had a house in Sri Lanka, and she had one of those toilets that just goes straight... The poops go straight into the ground, and that she had mango trees behind the toilet. The mangoes were absolutely enormous. I've never seen... They were much bigger behind the toilet than they were anywhere else in that whole bit. But my mum didn't allow us to eat them because she said they're poor mangoes. Like, no, we weren't...
My God, if you package them up in Waitrose, middle-class people were smothering... These are poo mangoes. They're the only mangoes I get.
Oh, no. I ordered from Ocado. They've substituted my poo mangoes for shitty beans. That's not fair.
Every time I have a mango, I think of your mum having a poo. Poo mango. It's your fault.
Hold on a second, mate. Hold on a second. I said I took a poo, and now you've made the leap, just brought my mum into the situation.
She has shits now and again.
My mum has never shit in her life, mate. How dare you talk like that about my mother?
My mum's ruined mangoes, my dad's ruined baths. Between us, we're killing this country.
Oh, I think we've just scraped off a layer there. Is that a story from your childhood? What's going on?
A couple of weeks ago from the
I see. Oh, right. Don't watch myself.
No, I know. What has been the response to the new shadow cabinet?
I was very excited by the shadow cabinet.
No way.
Yes. Lots of people that I'd never heard of before, and the minute I heard of them, I loved them.
And also, it has the twins.
The Eagle
twins. Yeah,
yes.
Eagle twins.
Oh, I love this.
Business and defence,
isn't it? Appointed Angela Eagle, and at the same time appointed Lord Falconer. And you wonder if Lord Falconer... is there to control Angela Eagle. Here, Angela. And the other which way? No,
Yes, in other political news, who did David Cameron manage to offend this week?
He offended Yorkshire, didn't he? He offended Yorkshire, said he knew that they hated everybody else, didn't know that they hated each other more. And he said this when he was actually going to watch England against Australia in a one-day cricket match at Headingley, or as he likes to call it, the home of Aston Villa.
You know that people from Yorkshire hated everyone outside of Yorkshire. It sounded quite charming. Is that a thing? Is that a thing?
They have a massive rivalry, but also within Yorkshire they have a rivalry because it's all split up, isn't it?
West Yorkshire
into north, south, east and west. So people from Leeds, they hate people from London because they regard them as southern. People from Leeds, they hate people from Sheffield because they regard them as southern. People from Leeds, they hate people in Beeston because although it's Leeds, it's South Leeds.
To be honest, I'm not really interested in this story. The question I've been asking myself since the beginning of this is, does Angela Eagle tweet? Or does she just go, yes? Which would it be?
We check out her account and it's just hundreds of, like, A-H-H-H-H-H-H, and then a mouse! Exclamation mark.
Yorkshire does have an excellent accent, though. One of the finest accent jokes in the world is one about the Yorkshireman whose dog dies, and he goes to a jeweller's and says, I want a statue made of me dog. And the jeweller says, do you want it 18 carat? He says, no, I want it chewing bone.
Oh, it's
a great joke.
Yeah.
It's not I didn't write it.
A Yorkshireman has invented a replacement for antibiotics. Uncle Biotics.
No wonder they hate each other if they're telling each other those jokes. You've ruined Christmas again, Dad!
Here we go. Here's the first topic. First subject is climate change. Used in like a shot.
The problem with climate is that we're ruining the environment. You know, every year we destroy an area of rainforest the size of Belgium. Why not just destroy Belgium? No one would mind. We're desperate to find an alternative to oil. Wind is one, but what worries me about wind power is that if you cover Britain with 400,000 wind turbines, right, on a windy day, what's to stop the whole country taking off? like an enormous hovercraft and heading for France. That is European unification by the back door.
Very good, Hugh. Hugh, sit down. Congratulations. Very good. So, let's have another topic. Live 8, Rory's coming in like a shot.
Yes, it's Live 8 this week. Bob Geldof's big thing was to persuade people to go to Edinburgh by boat. Right. Okay, because the first 20 miles are easy, the rest you're going to carry the boat on your shoulders. They're trying to get a million people up to Edinburgh. Elton John's not going, he's sending flowers. And it's a whole G8 Live 8 thing where the world's richest 8 nations get to meet the world's 8 richest rock stars.
Rory, well done, sit down. Let's have another topic. OK, reality TV. Who wants to get in?
Me.
Oh, hang on.
Just a second, though. 12 calories. Well, you probably realise that the 487th series of Big Brother has just started. Problem to me with Big Brother is that when someone gets voted out of the house, they don't actually have a sniper up in a tree with one bullet, just to see how they do. Now, I actually applied for Celebrity Love Island, but...
Joe, you can sit down now if you want to. That's just,